And we back in this thing like we left some. Welcome back, y'all, to this week's episode of I Got a Story to Tell. Thank y'all for joining me. Let me start off by saying I missed y'all last week. I hope y'all missed me as well. For those who don't know, I've been dealing with COVID. COVID has hit my entire family, to be exact. Myself, my wife, and both my kids. So my voice is a little off right now. I have a cough, as you all will see. A couple times I cough in this week's episode. So I apologize in advance. And I'm trying to battle back. So, y'all just keep me in your prayers. Keep me in your thoughts. Keep me and my family in your thoughts and prayers, please. That we are able to push through this. Y'all know how I do. Before I get going, before we get started, I always got to give someone their flowers. This week, I want to give flowers to my Aunt Vaughn. I love you, Aunt Vaughn. Thank you for just being you. Thank you for the calls, the checking up on me. Also thank you for the Garrett's popcorn that you always send me. You always send me that Chicago gold, as I call it. I love you. Thank you for being you. Thank you for always including me no matter what. Y'all, with that being said, I got a story to tell. Let's go. So, this story takes place in the year 2000. That's a 2 and 3 zeros. I am a newly initiated member into Kappa Alpha Psi Fraternity Incorporated with 3 other guys, especially my tail, my dog, my brother, Mac, who y'all met on previous episodes. And I'm happy, excited that we're now Kappas, right? Now, our process was a little unconventional because we finished and crossed, the quote unquote underground process in 2000. We didn't officially become nationally recognized members until 2001. But 2000 is when we crossed. With that being the situation and the possibility of getting in trouble had nationals found out that, we had a quote unquote underground process. B, we did something without being recognized nationally, we could have got in trouble. Hence our line name UGK, Underground Kappas, right? So like I said, this is 2000. I'm excited. I'm happy. And it's springtime. Now, if you went to school in the Midwest or, East Coast, wintertime in college can be a little boring. A, you've gone home for Christmas break, so you're away from school. B, the weather sucks. So it's not really a whole lot going on. There's a little bit going on, but not much. So you can't wait for the spring. So in the state of Ohio, there were a few big events that we always look forward to in the spring. At Ohio University, there was what's called Wine Fest, which I had gone to a few times. At my school, you had May Days. At Central State, you had May Weekend. But the event of all events in the state of Ohio in the springtime was Block Party at The Ohio State University. So Block Party was a big, kicking it, fun, happening weekend. And I had never gone to this point. I had always gone to Wine Fest, like I said, at OU. So, let's get to it. This is 2000. I'm chilling at the crib. My ADP, my brother, DC, comes through the crib. Hey, block party next weekend. You trying to go? Hell yeah, I'm trying to go. I bet. So I called Mac. Hey, Mac. Hey, DC said, hey, we're going to go up to block party next week. You trying to go? Hell yeah, I'm going to go. I bet. So I called my other line brother, Nate. I say, hey, Nate, we hitting block party. You trying to go? Hell yeah, I'm trying to go. I'm going to drive. I say, I bet. So I called my other line brother, Steve. I say, Steve, we going to Old State for block party. Oh, Sans, I'm already going. Me and Kev, we'll see y'all up there. Kev was my line brother Steve's boy. So I'm like, I bet. I'm looking forward to it now. But I'm also kind of nervous. You say, Mike, why the fuck you nervous about going to kick it? I'm glad you asked. I'm nervous because, like I said, we haven't been recognized nationally as Kappas, which means nobody on our campus even knows that we're Kappas yet. So we can't really be out there with Kappa shirts on and strolling and stepping and twirling canes and all that shit, right? Because if word starts spreading, one thing leads to another. Nationals find out, we're in trouble, right? So we got to keep it on the hush. I'm nervous because we go on a block party. I intend on wearing some Kappa paraphernalia, but I know people from our campus are going to be there, which is going to lead to some questions and some confusion. That's A, why I'm nervous. B is because I want to make sure if another Kappa that I don't know comes up to me and charges me up, like charge, some people say charge, some people say hit, some people say challenge. If they ask me a question to see if I'm officially a Kappa, I need to be ready and answer the right way, right? It's like that with any organization, any fraternity, certain organizations. You want to make sure the person who claims they're part of your organization is telling the truth. So you'll ask them certain questions. I'm nervous. I'm like, man, what if one of these niggas asks me something and I don't know, a fight break, whatever the case may be. So I'm like, I need to be on my shit. So leading up to that week, I'm like, man, I can't wait to go. I can't wait to have fun. I can't wait to kick it, but I need to make sure I'm on my shit. So we're going up that Saturday. That Friday, our frat brothers from Northern Kentucky University hit us up. Hey, what's up? Now they know, they've quote unquote, First of all, let me say, Kappa Alpha Psi is a non-hazing organization. We teach, train, and motivate for leadership since 1911. Let me get that disclaimer out there. So, our frat brothers from Northern Kentucky University, NKU, hit us up. Hey, y'all going to block party tomorrow? Hell yeah. Hey, we're going to roll up there with y'all. We're going to come meet y'all at the crib. Bet, say no more. So they come to the crib that Saturday. I wake up that Saturday morning, like I always do. Get up, stretch, a little coffee. Song I was listening to nonstop at the time was by this chick named Reese, R-E-S. She had a song called Tsunami. That was my cut at the time. So I turned on Tsunami, got that shit sky high. Walking around, I'm excited. Can't wait to go to block party. That shit gonna be off the hook. I've been practicing on my strolls and struts and steps and shit, right? I could always twirl a little bit. So I'm like, oh yeah, I'm gonna be ready. The day goes on. They gonna probably be up there by 1 o'clock. So we're drinking early. Get a few drinks in my system. Feeling good. Outfit ready. All that shit. We just waiting on the bros from NKU to get there. They finally get there. They kicking it. We drinking. We having a good time. One of them say, Steve, to be exact. Steve say, hey, I got the irons in the car. Anybody try to get hit with the irons? Now, let me translate what he said. He's letting us know he has the branding iron in the car. Is anybody trying to get a brand? For y'all that don't know, in African American fraternities, branding has always been a thing. Not always, but pretty much always been a thing. Get hit with the brand. Get a brand, I mean. So I used to always say, hey, when and if I ever become a member of Cap Alpha Psi, I'm gonna get a brand. I always just say that, right? Until now. Cause that shit here. And I'm like, oh shit. And I always like to think, and still do think, I have a very high pain threshold, right? Now, at the time when this story takes place, I had 2 tattoos. 2, that's it. So now this nigga talking about a branding iron. This a 3rd degree burn that you letting have. It ain't no accident. So I'm like, oh shit. So in my head, I say to myself, if my brother Mac could do the shit, I'm gonna do that shit. I'm always gonna roll with Mac. Period, point blank, hands down. I don't care what it is. Me and him, we rolling together, no matter what. Only time, me and Mac I've never wanted to put hands on Mac other than one time. And that involves an egg and a basement. And that's a story that I probably will never tell, but whatever's whatever. That was the only time I wanted to beat Mac ass. So, I asked Mac, I say, hey, you trying to get hit with the iron? He like, yeah. In my head, I'm like, man, fuck. I'm mad as hell. But when he said, yeah, on the outside, though, I'm like, all right, bet. Nigga. Oh, I'm nervous. I said, oh, shit, nigga. We out here now. Steve says, I bet. I'm about to go get the iron now. He goes out to the car to get the branding iron. Comes in, cut the stove on, sit the iron on the car, on the fire. I'm watching this branding iron get like red hot. I'm like, shit. I'm replaying a whole bunch of shit in my head at this point. I'm like, ooh, I don't know about this here. I'm like, damn, I know it's gonna hurt. That's all I'm telling myself. So, with me knowing it's going to be painful, I started drinking a little more. I was drinking Jack Daniels. I'm drinking some more. I even hit a joint a couple times. This joint ain't taking, this Jack Daniels ain't Jack Daniels. It ain't doing shit. It's like I'm drinking tap water. I'm like, man, shit. So I go first. I'm like, fuck it, I'm gonna get it over with. They get a kitchen chair. They sit it right next to the island. I sit down, I roll my sleeve up. They get a Yellow Pages phone book, put it under my arm, like under my armpit. And I'm like squeezing down my arm to flatten out my arm as much as possible. Man, they pulled that iron off the stove. They hadn't even hit me with it yet. It's just close to my arm. And it feels like it's on fire. They hit me with it and take it off. Excuse me. They hit me with it, take it off. When the iron hit my skin, I jumped. That shit was so hot. I'm like, oh my God. But it was over real quick. So I'm like, oh, okay, cool. I bet. Same shit. I'm hyped now. Nobody told me that the most painful part about getting a brand is when it starts trying to heal up and scab up. Y'all, that shit is painful. That shit is painful. What's even more painful, on a side story, I got a second brand one time. Or a second brand. The only people that were there for this story was myself, my friend, my sister, the queen. Shout out my girl, Nzinga. She was there, and Steve, who gave me the brand. I got a second brand. And it kind of messed up on the top half took. And Steve had to put it back on there again. And then the bottom part didn't take, so he put it on the third time. So I had to get hit 3 times on one brand. And when I say, y'all, my brand got so badly infected after that. Like, man, listen, that's a story for another day too. I thought I was going to have to go to the hospital. But anyway, back to this story. So I get the brand. I'm like, oh, okay, cool, bet. Now it's time to kick it. You can't tell me shit now. I'm a Kappa. I got me a brand. It's time to go kick it at O State, right? We go. We get there. Again, I'm like, man. Excuse me. I'm like, man, if somebody hit me up and charge me, I cannot fuck this up. I gotta be on my shit. And fuck it, I'm made, right? I know what's going on. I know how shit goes, right? I know my info. We pull up in Columbus. The first place we go to, the Zetas are having like a barbecue. We're like at this kind of like an apartment building. We come around the side. It's nothing but Zetas and Sigmas. Good time. They welcome us. You know, it's a great time. We having fun. But all the stories I've ever heard about Block Party were at this place called the Oval. The Oval is like a huge park kind of in the middle of campus at Ohio State. Everybody's talking about the Oval, the Oval, the Oval. That's where everybody be, the Oval. So that's all I'm thinking about. Man, when we gonna get to the Oval? Now, periodically during this day, like moving around walking, my shirt sleeve would hit my brand and that shit would hurt. Oh, that brand was tender. I said, shit. Finally, we're leaving the Zetas barbecue. We get in the car. We're headed to the Oval. We park so far away, it's people every damn where. We done met Sigma Gamma Rho's who've come all the way from California. Our frat brothers from University of Michigan have come down. I mean, you got people who've come from all over the country to go. We park and we're walking. I'm nervous, but I'm excited. We getting closer and closer to the Oval. We can see people. We can hear music. And I'm like, shit, this is about to be an experience. Get closer. Music gets louder. We come through this little parking lot. And it looks like there's 1 million people. And I'm like, oh, shit. There are people everywhere. Like, there are people as far as... Have y'all ever seen the video of DMX performing at that concert where it looks like every human on the planet is there? That's what it felt like to me. It didn't look like it, but it felt like to me. I'm like, it's people everywhere. We walking. I got on some KSI shit. I'm excited. I'm nervous. But the nervousness is kind of like dwindling away. So I'm like, cool, okay. We get there. There's a stage. At the time, y'all remember Hits from the Streets? Hits on BET? He's on stage. He's MCing shit. He's talking. Excuse me. He's having a good time. He has a plastic whale, like a plastic killer whale up on stage. He has this girl come up. He cutting the fool. She cutting the fool. She starts riding the whale. I mean, I'm looking at this shit like, okay, it's some weirdo shit, but it's fun. It's college. My nervousness is starting to like go away more and more. Because what I'm starting to notice is, you know what? Everybody here to have fun. Ain't nobody on no, let me see if he a Kappa for real. Let me see, ain't nobody on that shit. We having fun. it is a view of what seems like a gazillion black young men and women just enjoying life for a brief period of time. It's a quick escape from the bullshit, right? And it's almost like everything kind of like slowed down and kind of got quiet because I was so in the moment. And I'm looking around, looking at my brother Mac, I'm looking at my ADP DC, my brother, and I'm like, damn, this is dope. And out of nowhere, the song Explosive by Dr. Dre comes on. The DJ who was on stage DJing throws on Explosive. Now, at the time, everybody's standing around, cats mingling, talking to young ladies, all this shit. Ain't nobody really doing like a whole bunch of nothing really. It's just people just standing around, conversing, having a good time, linking up with people that go to other universities I ain't seen in a while, all of that. And Explosive comes on. Y'all know Explosive. Yeah, I gotta forgive my voice. But y'all know Explosive. And that was our song, my line. That was our song, Explosive. And in the middle of all those people, I just break out and start a stroll. It's just an easy little stroll that we do. And I already know if I start, my brother Mac, he's going to follow me up. So in my mind, I'm thinking, even if it's just me, Mac, and DC doing this stroll through all these people, cool. I'm overcome with this feeling and this emotion. So I'm doing it. And it seems like the music is just getting louder, louder, and louder. And I'm doing the stroll. And I'm moving forward, and I'm doing it. Moving forward. Something said, Mike, look back. I looked back behind me, and as far as I could see, there were other Kappas behind me doing the stroll. The line got so long doing this stroll. I went down and turned around and started coming back. On the way back, I'm passing people that are in the same line. It's almost like a snake. Like if a snake turns and his head is going towards his tail, he's going to see his body going as he moves his way toward the tail, right? And I'm just so shocked and amazed. And I'm going to tell you, when all like nervousness and everything left my body at that point, I'm strolling. I see a couple people from school. They like, oh shit, what the? They like, oh, they had no idea that we were Kappa. It was a young lady standing to the side. And she said, okay then, I see you. And she looked at me and I looked at her. But I kept going, like to recognize what she said. And I was like, damn. Ladies really do love noobs. I'm out.